If you own an Android phone, there's a 99% chance the heart beating inside it is a Snapdragon. It's the brand that turned cell phones into pocket computers. But where did it come from? Before it was a household name, it was just a risky bet by a company called Qualcomm to beat Apple at its own game. Today, we're looking at the origin of the Dragon. To understand Snapdragon, you have to understand Qualcomm. Founded in 1985, they weren't making processors. They were the kings of wireless communication. They literally pioneered CDMA, the tech that allowed your phone to talk to a tower. Back then, phones were messy. You had one chip for the signal, one for the screen, and one for the battery. It was bulky and slow. Qualcomm realized that if the smartphone revolution was going to happen, they needed to put everything on one city map. A system on a chip. In November 2007, the same year the first iPhone launched, Qualcomm dropped a bomb, the QSD8250. But QSD8250 isn't exactly an ideal name for a marketing campaign. So, it was called the Snapdragon. Why Snapdragon? According to Qualcomm, they chose it because Snap and Dragon sounded fast and fierce. It was a bold branding move in a world where tech was usually named with boring serial numbers like Intel 80386. This was the first mobile processor to hit the 1 GHz mark. It could handle 720p video and 12-megapixel cameras when most phones were still struggling to take a blurry selfie. Since Apple made their own chips, Snapdragon needed a partner. Enter Android, an open-source OS to combat Apple's iOS. The first ever Android phone, the HTC Dream, was powered by Qualcomm. But the real legend was the Snapdragon S1. It powered the HTC HD2, a phone so powerful for its time that hackers were still porting modern versions of Android to it a decade later. As the years went by, the Dragon evolved. 2011, they introduced the Adreno GPU. Fun fact, is an anagram of Radeon because they bought the tech from AMD. 2013, they simplified things into the 200, 400, 600, and 800 series. The 800 became the gold standard for flagships. 2017, Qualcomm officially stopped calling it a processor. They rebranded to the Snapdragon mobile platform. Why? Because it wasn't just a CPU anymore. It was an AI engine, a professional-grade camera ISP, and a 5G modem all fused into a piece of silicon the size of a fingernail. Today, the Dragon has left the phone. It's in Windows laptops like the Snapdragon X Elite, it's in your car's dashboard, and it's powering Meta's VR headsets. The origin of Snapdragon wasn't just about making a faster chip. It was about the snap, the speed of connection, and the Dragon, the fierce power of integration. So what was the first Snapdragon phone you ever owned? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more tech updates and history. I'll see you in the next one.